There we go.
Welcome, everyone. It's fantastic to see everyone's smiling faces today. And it looks like we've got more folks joining us, which is fantastic. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quickly with everyone. We do have some great information to share with the group here this afternoon. Just a quick little quote about February. Though February is short, it is filled with lots of love and sweet surprises. Right. And so I know I have seen these messages come out about some of the new activities that we've got going on. Our monthly coaching connect is one of the main ones that I've been seeing come out to the chapter, which is fantastic. Those are going to be run by our very own Becky, who is one of our co-chairs for programs. Um, where you've probably seen Becky at is exactly right here at this time. And then we've got our quarterly high country huddles. We're still, solidifying that day and time. Once we have that, you'll probably see announcements just like you saw for the monthly Coach Connect come out. And if you're missing any information from the chapter, a good way to catch that is our monthly chapter update newsletters. And if by chance you're not getting those, I'll pop my email into the chat after we transition here. And you can just email me, let me know, and I will help get that sorted for you. Then, kind of on the ICF Global side of things, they had a credentialing series that covered a wide variety of topics from, what goes into credentialing and what you need to do from the exam, to what's the difference between, mentor coaching and everything. Those recordings are up on the learning portal. I also have been informed that they will be running this series again this year, probably a bit later in the year, though. And so, if you're curious about getting involved, the ICF communities of practice are a great way to do that. They've got a ton of different practices for a ton of different niches within coaching. So definitely recommend checking that out. Wonderful programming that each of those communities of practice puts on. And they count towards continuing education credits as well. They also have an updated credentialing candidate guidelines now available. Those they've broken out into ACC, PCC, and MCC. And I'll pop this PowerPoint also in the chat because I've hyperlinked everything here to make it really easy for everybody. If you're curious about ICF Converge, they now have those on-demand recordings for purchase. So that is an opportunity to check out what was offered at Converge. ICF is always doing a wonderful job in trying to stay up to date with the fast and moving times when it comes to DEIB. So their DEIB news is the perfect place to be if you're curious about what they're doing. And they have just kicked off, again, it's every few years that they do this, their business development series for 2024. And with that, I'm going to turn it on over to Carrie again.
All right. Thanks, Jen. Okay, so as Jen mentioned, normally Becky is here with us, but today you have me as your host. So and I am super excited to introduce Nicole that is here with us. Nicole really focuses on systems to scale knowledge-based businesses, specializing in coaches of all different niches and leveraging tech to support our group. She is a digital operations consultant, specializing in streamlining online services and leveraging automation to support entrepreneurs' growth and scale. She traded Ivy League professors in university online programs, to bring more online revenue generating systems to experts in their industry. And she now helps small business owners organize their businesses so that they can ditch the chasing the fast cash and instead focusing on building for their futures. So we are thrilled to have Nicole here all the way from Kentucky.
Yep,
Um, Thank you for being here, Nicole.
of course. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I actually met Becky in like a business mastermind, and we just really hit it off and have been just supporting each other for the past maybe 2 years now. And so she said, "Hey, you have been helping me with my coaching systems. Would you mind having a chat with other members?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I actually come from the education background. I'll go into a little bit about my background, but I do trainings a lot, but for some reason, I was telling Becky this week, I'm a little bit nervous. So lovely to see some smiling faces. And I'm just hoping to provide a ton of value and answer lots of questions today. All right, so I'll just share my screen and we can walk through this together. I'm kind of glad that it's a smaller group. Feel free to put questions in the chat. Happy to answer them on the fly as they come up. I do have a dedicated Q&A session, so if you're just absorbing the information throughout the presentation, great. And I've created a space to have a conversation at the end. Okay. All right, so today is going to be how to simplify your systems to scale your coaching business. And I know that ICF coaches are starting at all different levels. So I wanted to incorporate, the 4 business levels that I have seen, and then the minimal tech requirements to be successful. I love tech, but I'm a tech minimalist. I want to do the most with the least amount of tools. So that is our goal for today. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make an ultimate shift from struggling with tech overwhelm, feeling maybe stretched too thin, confused as to what tech to actually use to make your business a more well-oiled machine, to expand your profits and your coaching time by simplifying your tools, as I said, and also based on your current level, because not everyone needs all the tools. So you'll be able to identify where you are at and then what tools you actually need to go to the next level. So I do have a guide coming for you. Carrie, if you could drop in the guide link in the chat, just so people have that at easy access. It's a free guide, so you don't have to take copious notes today. You can kind of just absorb and see how it applied to your business. The guide will be coming to you after today's session. I really wanted to hear the questions in your Q&A session today, so I can make sure to provide those answers in the guide. So I have a kind of finishing touches on that. So feel free to just opt into the guide and say, hey, I want it when it's ready, and it will be in your inbox in no time. Okay, so like I said, I'm happy to answer your questions at the end. You can write them down or throw them in the chat. And I want to make this workshop as beneficial and valuable to you. Our time is really precious. So you paying attention, paying in a real word there. I want to make sure that, like I said, every minute is dedicated to valuing your time. So if I'm guilty of this, so this is for me as a participant as well. We could close down any extra browser tabs or phone on silent, all those notifications that the social media like to throw at us. I want to really make sure that this presentation is helpful for you. So I've had this presentation really came around from having a conversation with Becky, but then also talking with my current coaching clients. And they were saying these things to me, which I asked them, like, put it in an email to me so I can put it in my presentation, how they're feeling about systems right now as they try to grow their coaching business. So Sarah, one of my leadership coaches, said that when I think of all the systems I need and all the tools that I'm currently paying for, it just feels like I'm staring at a mountain without a clear path to climb. I just have all these things that I need to do with all these different tools. And then my other client, she is a coaching organizational change coach, Jeanette. She said, I became a coach because I wanted to help people. Right now, it feels like I also need to become a marketing expert and a software guru to actually build my online business. So if you resonate with either of those, know that you're in the right place. I see you and I hear you and I want to help you. So I just want to show you kind of one of my favorite activities to do with my clients. We're not going to have you do it right now. I just want to show you what it looks like, and how to audit your tech stack in just 15 minutes. I call it my 15-minute post-it party. So let me just show you what this looks like so you can see how to get a handle on your tech stack in 15 minutes. So how it works is I have my clients grab a stack of Post-its and a marker. They set a timer for only 10 minutes and they write out each tech tool that they're currently using, free or paid for their business, right? You take 4 other Post-it notes in a different color if possible, and you're going to write the 4 stages of a client journey on those other 4 Post-it notes. If you're not sure what those stages are, I got you. I'll show you in just a moment. And then you add the tech tools, the tech post-it to each one of those stages. So let me show you what that looks like. So the 4 stages of a client journey, that's what we want to focus on. Why are we even purchasing this tool, or using this tool? We have the top one is awareness. The next one is consideration. These are the stages in which a future client would go through to become your client. The next one is conversion. How do they go from a lead to a client? And the last stage is loyalty. What kind of experience are we providing for them to continue to be our client? So those are the 4 stages. So what I have my clients do, this is an example, a picture of one. The yellow are all the tech tools and the blue are those 4 stages. So now we've got to figure out, what am I using this tool for? What's the purpose? How does this support my business? And where does this support my business? Okay, so that's just an example. So we had 10 minutes to write down the tools, and the extra 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes, is just to categorize where those tools go amongst the 4 stages. So I use Miro as a board when I'm doing this with clients, so we can do it digitally, but sometimes on paper is a nice way to do it too. So I just want to show you that as a way to get a hold of your tech stack. You're able to answer these 2 big questions when you have this in a visual capacity. So how does this tool support my business? What tools are overlapping? That's kind of a big one. Immediately we can see, oh, I have 2 tools that are doing 2 different functions. I don't need both. Let's get rid of one of them. And after you have this visual representation of your tech stack, you're able to answer questions like, what tools are supporting my business? What stages are missing tools? And then what tools, like I said, can be removed completely. Okay, so that's one of my favorite activities I like to go through with clients, just to get a hold of all those kind of subscriptions that feel like they're floating out there and see which ones are actually moving the needle and helping my business grow. Carrie, if you see any questions, feel free to throw them at me. They come up in the chat.
Definitely. I sure will. That's a great call out too. So feel free to add your questions in the chat and we'll make sure they get heard. Yeah.
Great. So you're probably here for one of 3 reasons. First one might be you love coaching and you just want to do more of it. Maybe reason number 2, you feel like you're drowning in tech subscriptions. I hear that quite a bit. Maybe number 3, you're ready just to streamline your entire business. You have things kind of coming in at every angle and you want just an easier way to manage your business. So if you could throw in the chat now, which one do you feel like you most closely align with right now? Are you just you love coaching just as it is and you want to do more of it? You feel like you're drowning in tech subscriptions. What do we need all these tools for? And maybe number 3, you feel like you're ready just to streamline things, make it easier for yourself. Pull my chat out here.
Yeah, there's a good mix. A lot of 1s and 3s.
Okay, great to know. 3, 1, 1 and 3. I love that. All, yes. Yeah. 2 and 3. Okay. Yeah, great. Okay, you're in the right spot. Let's do this. 1, 3, yeah. So whatever your motivation is, I want to support you. I want to help you conquer all 3. That's really my goal for this whole workshop. And it is an open conversation. So let's do this together. So who is this lady talking to you on the other side of your computer screen? Like Carrie said, I'm Nicole Mace. I moved to Kentucky. I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. Moved because my husband's in the military. We get to move a lot. And actually, we lived in Klamath Falls, Oregon for 5 years before moving to Kentucky mid-pandemic with a toddler, and he had to go before me. So there, little background there. There's our little one. She's a rebel. But she's great. I started my career as a classroom teacher. For the first 7 years, I was doing teaching in a junior high. I actually lived in Seoul, South Korea for a year and a half, taught over there, fell in love with the leveraging technology to teach more, teach better. And so I moved with my love for technology, started doing technology trainings at a district level, and then moved into higher education, supporting professors and developing their online courses and doing online programming for different big universities. It was pretty fun. Then I decided, you know what, I want to go out on my own, which you guys might have a feeling for. I want to go out on my own. I want to skip the middleman and go straight to the people who need me. And so I started developing my own business, the Systemize CEO, where I'm helping others leverage technology to support and teach their people. So that's me in a nutshell. Just to give a little kind of why you would even listen to me. I have a lot of experience. So I've built 227 online education experiences so far. Yes, I kept track. Currently, I have 9 coaching businesses clients. So they have their own businesses. I'm supporting them in operations to grow and scale. And I've built in 24 different online business programs. So this could be for organizational as a business or entrepreneurs as business. So I have tried them all. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so great. But yes, I definitely have favorites now that I've had to test so many. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on that chat too. So I would like to point out that at this point, systems have truly saved me. I have 85% of my revenue comes from my own programs and services. However, I do have a very full life outside of business, doctoral student, military spouse, which means he's gone for months on end sometimes. I have my little one, and we are living far, far away from any family, also known as free help. So on my own sometimes. And I also am in a position right now where I get to say no to any projects that really drain me, and yes to only the ones that light me up. So I have truly leveraged systems myself. That's why I'm so passionate about them to help others. All right. Oh, too fast. Okay, so whenever I'm asking clients to we're going to make a change, you might have to do something different in your business that feels uncomfortable. I want them to anchor themselves in what their goal is, what's their end goal. So right now, I'd like you to imagine what it would feel like if clients came to you and they were greeted with a seamless experience in starting your next coaching program. How would that feel? What would that look like? How would that change your life? We want to anchor into the end outcome because when changes are asked and changes may feel like they are doing too much, I want us to remember what our goal is at the end. Okay, so I will say that I can state and stand by systemizing your coaching business is the single most powerful and strategic way to build your business, your dream business, and make an incredible impact on your clients while growing your income and freedom in life-changing levels. So I will stand by that through and through. So where are we going? Let's point this out. There are different levels of coaches here, so I want to make sure that we have provide value for each one. So we're going to start with you're a coach and you're starting to systemize your business. So what are the only tools that you need to get your first 1 to 5 paying clients? That's where we're going to start. Then we're going to move into a build phase. So you've gotten your 5 clients through different systems, and now you're ready to build your pipeline and increase your capacity. The next phase would be grow. So now you're ready to grow your audience and serve more people in less time. Phase 4 is scaling, when you are ready to serve your clients beyond your calendar. So how do we do that? And if you're loving what you're hearing right now and you're looking for more support, I'll go over just quickly how you can work with me. And number 6 is going to be I'm all ears. What questions you have? How can I help? Okay. All right, let's dive in. So start your coaching systems. We're going to focus on the 4 stages of a client journey through the 4 different stages that they go through and base the tools on those stages. So when you're starting off and you are getting your first 1 to 5 clients, you are purely focused on your awareness stage. So the tools and systems that you need are based on how do you get more awareness from people around you to know more about you and your business and the problems that you solve. So like I said, you are looking to systemize your first 5 clients with no more than maybe 2 leads coming in a month, meaning around 2 people a month are wanting to book a call with you and learn more about your services and your coaching programs. That's when you're in the starting systems. At this phase, your goals are to build a presence in maybe 1 or 2 online social media platforms. Another goal would be to become maybe a guest on some aligned podcast shows. This is called borrowing someone else's audience, right? Just to build your awareness. Number 3 would be provide live workshops for aligned communities. So being able to go into communities that have the same ideal client that you would also love to serve and providing value there. Networking at live events. And goal 5 would be to provide value to your ideal client audience and become top of mind for a very specific problem that you solve. That's your goals in this phase. So what systems do you need? You can see that I have tried to color code these kind of boxes with the funnel. So you can see where they fit into the marketing funnel, also known as a client journey. So the first system that you need is your social media post creation and scheduling. So just an easy way to put your message out there, consistent messaging, a point about that. Consistency can mean consistency in your cadence and when you're posting and how often, but more importantly, consistency needs to be around your messaging. How are you making your ideal clients feel? And what problems are you stating over and over again that you solve? So consistency around your messaging and consistency around your cadence. Those are the 2 consistencies that matter when it comes to social media posting. You don't need to be on there 24/7. People just need to feel and hear the same message every time they see your post. All right, so we want an easy way to create nice posts and a way to schedule them because we want to do batch work, right? We don't want to be on social media every single day if we don't have to. So how can we do it on Monday and schedule it out for the week, right? Also, in the awareness phase, the system that you want to be able to provide is bite-sized value bombs. These can be things like a free guide, a checklist, a template. What else do we like? A cheat sheet, right? So a fast way to say, here's a very small issue that I know my ideal clients have, and here's something that's going to help you get a quick win. So that's building the like, no, trust factor. Another part of that system for awareness is I just say a landing page website is all you need at this point, because your only call to action when people go to that landing page is to book a call. That's it, right? Because the next part of that funnel is a consideration. So they found you. How are they going to consider? What do they need to go through to consider to see if you're the right person to help them solve that problem? They're going to book a call with you. So that's consideration stage. Now your conversion stage, great, they want to work with you. What do you need to provide them to pay you? So an invoice and a payment portal. And lastly, how are you going to provide your coaching services? So those are the systems, basic, starting out, where you're focusing on and what tools do you need to focus in that area. So here are my recommended tools. For the awareness phase, all you need is Canva Pro. That is all you need. It's going to do your post creation. It's going to do your full social media scheduling there. You're going to be able to create any kind of bite-sized value bomb, as I like to say. And you can create websites on there now. A single page website. I'll show you an example of one. That's all you need. So for the consideration system, Calendly works just great. And if you just need one session type, like book a call, here's a discovery call with me, it's free, right? The next one I'm going to suggest is Stripe. So you have a place to invoice. You can go into Stripe, send someone an invoice, and they can do a direct payment from that email. And the only reason I'm recommending Stripe is because as you grow your coaching business and you use other platforms for client management, 99% of them use Stripe. So instead of having you create one in a different payment portal or payment processing app, Stripe is used most commonly. These are just suggested though. So if you already have one you love, let me know. Oh, I see a question.
Yeah, Nicole, we've got a question from Patricia about like how
Great.
you might compare Calendly and Google Calendar appointments.
Yeah, I love that. I have set up Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have set up Google Calendar appointments. If someone has, actually, they're available now in all Google accounts. But what I will say is Calendly is a cleaner experience. It also has more touch points. So you can add those questions to kind of get a prep for the call. And I haven't set up, honestly, a Google Calendar appointments in probably about 4 months. So things change rapidly. But when I did set it up for a client, it was Calendly is much more cleaner. You can do those kind of inquiry questions to start before they book and also send out some reminders in an easier process for them, I think, if they don't have a Google, they don't have a Google email address that they are scheduling with, adding that appointment to their calendar is a little more challenging with Google appointments versus Calendly or another, a more robust scheduler. That's my experience. Things change fast. So let me know if it's all up to par now. I see I've been using QuickBooks, but I need to check out Stripe. Yeah, if QuickBooks is doing your processing for you, then I don't think that you need to change to Stripe if you're already paying for QuickBooks. If it's doing your processing for you, like I said, I'm a minimalist. If it's doing what you need to do, need it to do, you don't need to change. I will move into the next stage of growing your business and you'll see if it still works for you there. Okay. Zelle, Venmo. Yeah, I just got a question about this actually yesterday from one of my clients. I don't know. Zelle, I don't know. Venmo, I don't think that can go to a business account unless you pay Venmo. So it just depends on what account you want payments to go to first. You might be having to go to one account and then doing transfers over. I know Venmo has a business account, which they pay for, which you pay for just like any other payment portal. So Stripe or something like that. Zelle, I'm not sure if it will go to a business account or not. Oh, you have a free business account. Okay, they must take a transaction fee then maybe? That's what I thought I saw. Okay, use Zelle for business account. Maybe whoever's using Zelle, Lizzie, do they take a transaction fee?
No.
Zelle is a 2.9.
No.
No? Okay, we might have a better tool. This is why I like these
I mean, as long as your bank accommodates that. I mean, that's the key thing. I think. There's no transaction fee and it's pretty much
Great.
instantaneous. You get paid right away.
Yeah. Direct deposit. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Lizzie, thank you for that. So yeah, and I think the other person's bank needs to accommodate Zelle as well. Like you both have to be a Zelle bank.
Actually, the payment is by an email account.
Okay.
So the email account on my bank
Yeah.
is how they pay.
Great. Okay, Lizzie, thank you. So if your bank has Zelle, it might be a better way to go for payment processing. Now, I don't know if the ability to send an invoice for like tracking all of that, no invoice at that point. But again, this is the starting phase. So systems we're focusing on is getting awareness. Let's get traction before we figure out how to scale. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, so here's my example, Erica Ames here. She actually exited a large organization to support women coaches for social media design and online business. And so she was starting out. So we said, what do we need to focus on? Which was getting more awareness around her and her business. So social media posting, scheduling, bite-sized value bombs, and one-page website. This is the example of the one-page website. This is all in Canva Pro. all of the buttons are hyperlinked to schedule a call with her. That's the only call to action throughout the entire website is book a call, book a call, book a call. All the information that you need about her, what packages she provides, testimonials, all that good stuff, book a call all on one page. Okay, so we're not at the point where we have to invest into a website quite yet, unless you already have one and you love it. That's fine too. Okay. All right. So I'd love to know in the chat, what tools are you currently using to systemize your awareness? Anything that I don't know about that I can learn? So what are you using? Maybe we have some Canva Pro users in here. Wonderful. Canva Pro, perfect. Blogging, nice. Love Canva Pro. Yes, just started using it. Great. All different levels here. Okay, wonderful. On the same page here. Google Workspace, Calendar, Square, LinkedIn. Okay, so Square might be for payment processing. LinkedIn, great. So that's the single platform you're focusing on your presence. I love that. Podia. Oh, we have to talk more about that. Maybe Tim, maybe you're already a couple phases ahead. Okay, wonderful. All right, well, let's talk about the next phase then. So level 2, you're ready to build your coaching systems. So we've gotten awareness. We started systemizing how to borrow other people's audiences, get in front of their audience, having consistency around our messaging and our posting. And now we want to systemize the next phase, which is that consideration phase. So at this point, you've already systemized your 5 clients, and systemize meaning you have built in systems to build awareness to get your first 5 clients. And if your part of your systems is like text everyone you know or DM everyone you know, that's fine. And maybe you're batching that work. It's just being intentional about what you're doing and keeping up the consistency. So at this point, you're systemized your 5 clients. You've got 5 clients under your belt. Maybe you're currently serving still a couple of those, but you're starting to get more leads. You're starting to get more than 2 people who's wanting to book a call with you per month. Now we've got to figure out how to manage those leads and nurture that relationship. So let's dive into that. At this point, your goals are to track and follow up your incoming leads, be able to keep notes on your current clients and those leads, right? The details build the relationships. Craft custom proposals to send to leads. So you might be creating custom coaching packages based on discovery calls. You want to be able to send those proposals out or those coaching packages offers out, and you need a place to do that. Be able to have a really easy way for people to say yes to working with you. That means no back and forth when it comes to signing a contract. Here's your invoice. Here's how you pay me. If it's a payment plan, how do they do that, right? You want really easy ways, really easy systems for people to say, yes, I'd love to work with you. And goal number 5 would be to step up your game when it comes to professional and polished client journey. What systems do we need? The yellow bucket is the same, right? So same way, we're sticking with the ways that we're systemizing awareness. What's changed is the consideration moving to conversion. So yes, they're still booking a call with you to do most of that consideration portion of their buying journey, but you want a way to manage your clients and your leads. You want a way to create those more custom coaching packages based on the discovery calls. You want an easy way to do the e-sign contract, invoice payment, all of those things should have a system around them. And you're still providing the business services in the same way, most likely. Canva Pro stays the same. Okay. But instead of using Calendly and Stripe, I would suggest something like Paperbell. Is anyone used Paperbell? I've heard of Paperbell. It's newer. And it's actually supposed to be the CRM that was made for coaches. I have set up a lot of coaches and consultants in different CRMs, and Paperbell is strictly for coaches. Heard of it? I use it. Oh, and you use it. How do you like it? Give us some feedback. Thanks for throwing that up there. Yes.
Do you want me to talk, Nicole, or?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I started it, I had my eye on it for a couple of years actually, and then I switched the focus or the niche of my coaching practice last year. And so
Mhm.
I decided to go into Paperbell for that
Mhm.
and just kind of launch everything together. And so just taking care of the calendar, the contracts, invoicing, the notes. My website is then linked into Paperbell so that that's where the client can see what they're purchasing from my website or interest, and then
Yeah.
go in, and it's, the back end is where I actually put the details of the program or the offerings that I have. It's really a place to, I mean, from running a coaching business before, I had all.
Oh, we lost your sound. I don't know if that was me or you went mute. There.
No, that was me. I
Okay.
hit, that was my elbow.
Huh?
But in my older coaching practice and consulting business, I had pieces, all processes all over the place. I sit down and do the
Yeah.
invoicing, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
This just keeps it really easy.
Yeah,
So
great.
I do
Thank
love
you.
it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And I have some other questions coming in along that topic. So Anne, thank you so much for the insight.
Yeah.
So I see one about coaches and consultants, and then also a follow-up or another one with HoneyBook. So actually, I am a HoneyBook user. So I love HoneyBook because I do some done for you work. I do some consulting work with organizations where you need a little bit more flexibility and robust templates for proposals. So if you are strictly sticking with coaching packages, I think Honeybell is the where to go. If you want more flexibility when it comes to creating what types of service that you want to provide the client, it could be coaching with a team, it could be one-on-one coaching, it could also be some done for you components, then I would suggest HoneyBook. But if you want to keep it simple, coaching, Paperbell. Okay. Coach accountable by moving away. Okay. Simply Coach. Yeah, there's a lot of platforms out there. And this is why I put, this is a CRM is what I put. So if you find a CRM that you really love at this part of your business journey, that's what the next system I would be developing if I were in your shoes is a CRM. So you can really help systemize your consideration and conversion section. All right. And then Zoom and Voxer. And I think I keep forgetting to state what tools would be in the coaching services, but Zoom, obviously, if you're using one-on-one, it's free. And then Voxer, I really like, it looks like a little walkie-talkie there because you can really use it like a walkie-talkie. So if you have communication with your clients in between your coaching sessions, if that's part of your package, then Voxer is really helpful because it's like quick memos back and forth. You can also do text too, and not just a walkie-talkie voice. Streak, Paperbell versus, I've never used Streak. So if anyone has any background on Streak, the cost of HoneyBook, I do know the first year is 50% off. And then I want to say it's like 400 for the year or around there. Let me know if you don't see the 50% off code. I can get you that code. Okay. All right, so that's level 2. We have our awareness systems, and we're focusing on how to really help ourselves with the booking the calls and keeping all the track of the notes and converting them into a client. Okay, so here is my client, Lisa Smith. She's a sales and revenue strategy coach for small businesses, and she does great online. She's on LinkedIn everywhere in events. She's actually lives in Wisconsin. And she would have people booking calls with her like crazy on Calendly. And then she would spend weeks at a time back and forth with here's the proposal. Did you see the proposal? Did you sign the contract? People were printing out a contract and signing it and then scanning it. And doing the invoice. Did you see the invoice? Where's the payment? Like weeks and weeks of her time. So we set her up in a CRM. For her, we used HoneyBook because she needed more flexibility around the proposals she was providing for organizations. And I call it my sweet sales system. So that's what that's what I built for her. So she could scale and just grow from there. This screenshot of video is of Paperbell. So you can actually see kind of what the experience would feel like. People can book a call. They can actually book the session, select the session type. They put in their email and then they go to a checkout page, I believe. Yeah, putting in information. So it has really, really simple way for them to choose their coaching package, put in their information, and pay you and schedule. Okay. Oh, I see some links up here. So there's a link to Streak and another one for Zoe. Jen, do you use Zoe? Is that your CRM?
I do. It's a newer platform, but it's fantastically integrated, from having a video system that would replace Zoom, a calendar system that would replace Calendarly, because those were two that I was using. It's connected with Stripe, as you've mentioned. It does invoicing and logs your hours. So for any of our ICF coaches, you know, it can help log those hours that then we could turn around and put into our ICF account for reaccreditation.
Love that. Okay, perfect. So yes, a CRM, if you're unfamiliar, is a client RM, a client relations management system. So just managing your leads coming in and your clients overall. So we're moving on to, well, we already talked about what CRM tool you're using. You're on the ball. Let's go to level 3. Okay. So we're on growing. Now we're growing our business. We've got more people coming in. So what does that mean? We are going to be focusing on more of the conversion component of it. And I'll talk about what you were doing in the first 2 phases and how that might look different now. So at this point, you have consistent leads coming into the pipeline, but you're not quite at capacity. You could still take on more clients. And it's time to grow and nurture your ideal client audience. So they're warming up. So you're never in that kind of like, what is it? Feast and famine type of wave. So how do we do that? At this phase, your goals, the first one would be a conversion that is not relied on your discovery calls only, because you only have so much time in the day, and the more clients that you have on your calendar to serve, the less time you have to take discovery calls. So how do we move that so that people can convert without being on a call with you? Always. Sometimes they still want to talk to you. All right, so ownership of the connections that you're building from social platforms. Remember, the connections that you're building in social platforms, you don't own those connections. Not that you own connections, but you know what I mean. How do you move them off the platform so that platform doesn't have all the strings that you are, or pulling the strings that you are working really hard to build these connections with? So adding value and increasing trust with a growing group at scale. And then also possible maybe small group programs. I know that ICF, you guys are certified coaches. You have kind of a toolbox that you're able to pull from when serving your clients. Tell me if I'm totally off. I've talked to Becky quite a bit about what it means to be a certified coach versus like any old coach. And so sometimes it's nice to be able to say, I can help a small group be able to solve the specific problem in this framework. So thinking about what small group programs you could put together. And then also digital products for sale that solve a very specific common challenge. So we can talk about examples of that. What systems do you need? Yellow box is the same. What's changed is that pink box, so the consideration component. So yes, they can still book a call with you, but you also want to start putting a system in place that people can understand who you are, who you serve, how you serve, and that you are the right person to help them. So that is by building and growing your own email list. This is also going to be moving those connections that you've built on social media platforms to your own email list. So you have your own way to connect with them. You're not, you know, a servant to the social media algorithm. So your conversion can still stay the same, right? They can book a call if they need to after hearing from you a little bit. You're still able to manage them in your CRM and provide those coaching services. Tools stay the same for the yellow, for the awareness. What I would suggest if you're starting out and you don't currently have a platform that also has email marketing services, a lot of websites and such have started to implement that within their platform. If you don't have one yet, I would suggest ConvertKit. It's very user-friendly, and it's going to give you exactly what you need to build and grow and nurture your list for free. ConvertKit will charge you at the next level after free of $30 a month if you want to start setting up automated email sequences, which can be very helpful if you have people opting in to grab those bite-sized value bombs and you don't want to leave them hanging. You deliver that resource to them or the link to go get the resource. And then you want to say, hey, I'm Nicole. This is who I coach. This is who I help. This is why I started doing this work. Here is another resource for you. Do you mind if I over deliver? Right? So that happens maybe the next day. And then 2 days later, they said, hey, I really want to know what's your biggest challenge, right? So that's all increasing your like, no trust factor, increasing your touch points there without you being tied to your computer. So that would be in the automated automation component. And then also ConvertKit allows you to sell directly from that platform, coaching services, or any digital downloads. So you can create a kind of mini sales funnels where you have automated emails and also giving them a link to say you can purchase that solution here. I see questions coming up. How does ConvertKit differ from MailChimp? It doesn't differ too much. All I know is that ConvertKit is a little more streamlined and user-friendly for you. I don't know about like the design features of either or. ConvertKit's pretty. I don't know if MailChimp, I'm sure MailChimp can be pretty too. If you really like MailChimp and you're already using it, it's good to go. I'm just saying that you need to have an email service provider at this level of your business. Let me see another question here. What is the next wave coming after an email list? I've heard around the edges that people are starting to unsubscribe because they don't get so many. Yes, I agree with that. It depends on what value you're putting into your email list. If you're blasting them with offers all the time, people are going to unsubscribe for sure. So I like the 9-to-1 ratio. You're providing value, providing connection, providing relatable content, asking them to reply back with certain things, connecting more on a community level, making them feel like you actually care about them and not just like sending them information. So 9 of those versus 1 sales email. So that is, you're building the relationship. These are the people that, when you have clients going through their client journey, some of them are rabbits or hares and some of them are turtles. This is for the turtles that they're not ready to buy yet. They need to know more about you, about who you serve, how you do it, are your authority on this matter, and build that like, no trust factor. And this is the way to do that without being on the call all the time. Newsletter platforms to grow your outright thoughts on newsletter platforms. I think they're good. I mean, the way I'm understanding the newsletter platforms would be because you can buy a spot to be featured in someone's newsletter who's grown their email list to like 50,000 people, right? Is that what we're thinking of? I think that's a smart way to borrow someone else's audience, especially if it's an aligned ideal client audience. I think it's the
I
same.
was just thinking that sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, no, tell me.
Instead of using emails and getting people annoyed at your emails, maybe a newsletter platform where they come to you because they're already there at Substack, reaching out to the other people that they follow. It's just something new that a lot of Substack newsletters have just become their own news platforms, and people are there all the time already.
Yes, like if there's already a community and people are posting different kind of articles and they can come to you. I love it. I love the idea. Yeah, the whole point is people are getting on your email list because they're opting in. They're essentially raising their hand and saying like, hey, I have a problem that you can solve possibly. I want to learn more. So they want to hear from you, especially around that problem that they have opted in to help solve. So if they're in a community that's kind of based around that, then yeah, I love that idea. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So we have Paperbell to manage our people, and then we start using Zoom or Voxer, unless you have a CRM that has replaced those 2 things. Okay, so here's Becky. So I asked to be here, right? Because Becky, I've been helping Becky with systems. And she's in the phase where, oh, my circle is not on the right spot. So she's in the phase where she is being really present on LinkedIn. She's getting more and more awareness, more systems around her awareness. And it's time to start moving people, asking people who want to opt in and hear from her because of the certain problem that she solves, opt in, and that she's able to create some automated emails going out to them, building that like, no trust factor. And she is sending out her weekly newsletters to provide more value. So really it's just value, 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 ask. So I'd love to know who has an email list, and maybe what's your favorite part of having your own list, or who's thinking about building their own list or starting to create their own list. Or sounds like a fun idea. I'll get there at some point. That's how I was for a long time. I have a lot on my plate. I'll get there. Starting to create one. Great, Carrie. Partnership has one. Perfect. Use it for your content. Yes. Email list with MailChimp. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, so it seems like we have a couple people who are moving towards the grow or heading there. Emails from former clients. Great. So you have a kind of a mini list there. Great reminder of how long it took me to build. So true. Sometimes you hear people that say, oh, I grew my list to like 500 people in a week. They're probably using ads, which can be very helpful sometimes, but you work for that email list. You are putting out content, and I think it's sometimes good to have a slow growing list because the people who are opting in really want to be there. You provided something that they said yes, please to, right? And so those are the people you really want to be on the list. It's not the size of the list that you really want, it's the quality of people that you want on there. Okay, wonderful. Let's move to level 4. This is when I get really excited. Okay, so we're doing scaling our coaching systems now, and look where that circle is. Our goal here at this point is to turn your systems into a machine. That is the goal. So we have systems around awareness, consideration, conversion, and loyalty. How does this all fit together so that I can actually take a vacation and not stop all of my revenue? So your calendar is currently maybe restricting your business growth at this level, and your email list is growing. So you want to serve more clients, but cloning is not quite FDA approved yet. So what do we do? At this point, your first goal is to create that income that doesn't solely rely on your calendar availability. Maybe you want to create more evergreen content to serve your audience and build that trust. So it's not just you posting all the time. They can find you in other ways on old content that you posted a year ago, right? Someone already said they have a blog going. Well, that's one example. It's perfect. Build automations to provide more touch points for leads or people on your email list without being chained to your computer. Start creating multiple levels of people for people to work with you. Not everyone is ready to do maybe one-on-one coaching, like that high touch, high ticket coaching. What are some other ways that they can work with you? And then simplify systems so that you can focus on content, craft, and your clients. You really want to hone in and tighten all your systems so we can turn it into a machine. What systems do you need? I broke these down because we have a little bit of change in that yellow box. We still have that social media creation and scheduling, but also we have weekly content. So we are providing value to our audience consistently. So this could be in a blog, this could be in a podcast, this could be in a video training, a short video training that you add to your blog and make it your blog post. So you're not writing it all out and doing the video. You could if you wanted. You're still providing those bite-sized value bombs. That's the fastest way to grow that internet trust. At this point, you might want to start looking at a full website. You have more people coming to you. What do you want to present to them in your little corner of the web? This part has changed too. So your consideration, now you have multiple ways for people to consider working with you. Of course, you're building that email list, and you want to have some automated email sequences. So when they opt into a certain bite-sized value bomb, they get a certain sequence that aligns with that problem that you solve. So you can connect with them that way, again, without being chained to your computer. Digital downloads, of course, should be an option. Now you're able to do maybe challenges. Maybe you have a 3-day challenge that helps your clients or your ideal clients get organized in some way of their life so they can feel a little better, have a quick win. Also doing workshops. So how can you provide a ton of value so people can learn more fastly or in a fast pace, and increase that like, no, trust factor in 1 hour, right? Your sales funnel. So maybe it's not just having to do a custom package at this point and send them the contract and invoice and payment. At this point, maybe you have other ways that they're working with you, different coaching packages. And so now you have a sales funnel, and people say funnel, they think like all this tech stuff and no real person there. But really, a sales funnel is just an automated email sequence that is speaking to your person that you already know so much about. So they really know that you understand them, you see them, you hear them, and you can solve a specific problem for them. So an email sequence that kind of leads them on this journey to consider if another coaching package would be helpful for them, would be of value to them. And then they can just check out, buy that package right there. So you need checkout pages and then also a client portal. So whatever they're buying from you or resources that they're getting from you, free or paid, it all goes into like a library. So a client portal. So the more they work with you, the more resources they attain. So in this phase, you are definitely still providing your one-on-one coaching. This is your high ticket, high touch coaching, but now you're thinking about some group coaching. And sometimes when we're thinking coaching, we're not thinking like one size fits all. That's never the option. But group coaching can be, people can opt in and say, I have this problem. And because you've been doing this for so long, what are the 4 steps they need to do to move out of this problem, to get to the next phase to where they want to be? So maybe you help move through those 4 steps with them in a group setting where they have community in a safe place. And after the end of that 4 steps, maybe it's a 4-week group coaching program, now they're maybe ready to take that step with you, to do the one-on-one coaching with you, right? So it can be a part of the overall buying journey. Digital courses. So digital courses can be, yes, here's a fast way to solve a problem, maybe a step-by-step tutorial on how to do something, but it also can just accompany your one-on-one programs, even your highest touch, highest level. If you have a toolkit that you can pull from for each client, maybe you have a digital course where you say, you know what? Let's get you organized in this part of your life, or let's help you solve this problem. I want you to go to module 3 and just watch those lessons there and do that assignment. And we're going to talk about that next time in our coaching session. So it can just be a partner to your one-on-one instead of saying the same thing over and over again to every client. I know Becky is thinking about doing this with her clients. She helps them get organized in a certain part of their life. I can't remember how she uses it, but she helps people understand how to use Trello, which is a very simple project management tool. And she helps them apply that to a part of their life. And she ends up doing that same type of training over and over and over again because it applies to so many of her clients. She's going to create a digital course that says, hey, here's a step-by-step, take this at your pace. You can come back to it, So again, just to accompany the tools that she's providing. All right. And then memberships and communities. So I don't know, maybe you have experienced this, but when I work with my one-on-one clients, they often say, don't leave me. So how can you provide continued access to you in a safe community where you can show up and answer questions, but maybe they're not having to pay the one-on-one rate for 12 months or continued after that, right? All right, so those are your systems. If you can tell, this is like my favorite phase. So what do you need to make all this happen? Still Canva, tried and true, still Canva. But Canva is just going to be taking care of your posting, your creation, and your posting schedules, okay? So now, here's the platform that I root for. And the reason why is because I've tried so many other platforms and they're always missing something that you need to grow your coaching business. And I am not like, I'm going to use a platform and I'm comfortable in it and I'm never going to leave it. I love tech. If you tell me there's a better platform, I'm going to go check it out tomorrow. But Kajabi, I've been using it for 3 years because I haven't found a better one that actually has everything that you need to build your coaching business. This is not a Kajabi commercial. I'm just telling you, I know how coaching businesses grow. What do they need to stack on top of each other to keep the scaling going? And Kajabi has everything that I've found so far. So with this platform, you can have your weekly content, you can have your blog, you can have your podcast on here, hosted on here. You can still be providing those bite-sized value bombs in your weekly content with landing pages to opt in. You can have a full website built on here. You can grow your email list. You can automate your sequences, digital downloads, challenges now, workshops. And actually, this past maybe 4 months, inside of their communities that you can have there, you can do challenges in the communities, which is fun. Sales funnels, of course, coaching packages, checkout pages, client portal. When they buy anything from you in Kajabi, they log into their portal, they have everything there. And like I said, courses, memberships, and communities. So it's fun. There's a lot. So anyone using Kajabi, or if there's another platform that you're like, Kajabi's cool, but I love XYZ, let's talk about it. Thanks for throwing that Kajabi link up there. Yes, habit. Great reminder on how long it took me to, oh, that was from the email list. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so here's my example here. She's my current client, MG Rainers. She is a change management coach. She has worked with very large organizations, and she decided to move away from the Fortune 500 kind of companies to go straight to take out the middleman, right? She wants to go straight to the people who actually need her. So she focuses on tech leaders, brilliant tech leaders that do not know how to communicate to their team. So she really focuses on change management, so that those change initiatives that come down, how do you make change stick? That's what she focuses on. So she does a lot of consulting, but sometimes the consulting goes into like, I need you to train my whole team. Well, here is some coaching assets that we can put together to support the coaching, right? So this right here is that's actually her bite-sized value bomb. So that's how she's building her email list. She's providing a mini course to get foundational understanding of how do you actually make change stick. Then we have a sales funnel in Kajabi that takes people who have opted in and done this course and said, they've taken this course. They raised their hand and they said, I have this problem, and you know how to fix it. So then they go on a sales funnel, which is just an automated email sequence, some additional resource and free resources that we're providing them to help them along this journey. And then if they're ready to do one-on-one coaching or even bring her into the organization as a consultant, she has this kind of mega course, we call it, the signature course, that has her entire framework. So it is helping her do the coaching, but it's providing the tools so that the conversations are richer. So that's how we are using Kajabi for her. Any questions about Kajabi? Let me see. I have some things in the comments in here. Experience with courses in Paperbell. I didn't know Paperbell had courses. I knew that they had digital downloads. And they have courses?
It looks like Jen has some experience in that.
Okay, using it as a student in a group coaching program, very user-friendly. Okay, so it's part of the group coaching. I saw they had group coaching. So yes, it's exactly what I'm talking about. So listen, maybe you don't have to go all the way to Kajabi yet. Maybe there's a middle phase here, or maybe you don't even want to go to Kajabi. But the whole thing is about figuring out how to support more clients without you repeating yourself over and over again, having additional supports for them, communication, resources without tying you up all the time. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you're thinking about Kajabi and thinking, okay, maybe this one size platform would be very nice to go to one place to do it all. Do I need to be an expert? No, you do not. So I call this the do what you love spark. If you are doing something that you absolutely love, you don't need to be an expert in anything else, because that is enough motivation to learn what you need to learn, to build what you need to build, to do what you love. That's what I always say to my clients. Just find the support that works for you. Some people love done for you. Some people want more done with you. So they build their own skills and confidence with an expert on their side. Some people love done, do it yourself, right? Here's a course. Here's how to set up things. Go for it. But I want to say this, if you're doing something that you absolutely love, it's all the motivation that you need to learn something new. All right. So whether if it's coaching, how to create a positive team culture, or how to create a healthier lifestyle, organizational tips, or how to change their life with better habits, whatever you're coaching about, when you're creating systems for your coaching business, it's the strategy that matters. So that's why I broke it down into those 4 kind of areas of your client journey. So you know what systems that you need to grow and what tools can support you there. It's your willingness to see a bigger plan for your coaching business and to focus on how to get to the next level. So I'd love to know in the comments, what would you stop doing? Maybe life, career, job, business, if you were able to take your coaching business to the next level? What could you say? I'm not doing that anymore. This is growing. Is there anything on top of your job? Yes. Finance, marketing? Yes. I had a client say, like, hire a cleaning crew immediately for her house, which I love. It's so real. Okay. Yeah. So you want to think about focusing on where you're at right now and what you need to get to the next level. That's always a fun thing to think about. Okay, so just a quick example here. It doesn't have to be, coaching doesn't have to be your full-time right now to focus on systems. My past client, Celine, she is a mortgage broker. Like, she has a full brokerage that she's managing with a team of processors, but she was always mentoring and coaching other loan officers who wanted to build their own brokerage. Like, she was just like a person in the industry that people would send people to her to say, like, hey, ask Celine, she knows how to do this. She has 20 years in the mortgage industry business, and she was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching, like, book a call with me, let's chat. It was a lot of work on top of her own business. And so what we did is we created a hybrid coaching program, which has like Anne was saying, it is a course that people can watch kind of the steps on how to create a brokerage, then also have that one-on-one coaching with her. So it's still very customized to like what they need and the questions they have and the challenges they have, but they had like the foundation. And so she said this, we actually finished up her project at the end, beginning of December. And she said, I just get to show up and coach. I could just show up for my clients and coach is a dream system. So that is really the goal. If you just want to have the more simple system that you can create, the better. If you want to, your goal is just to be like, show up, then we've got to put systems in place there to be able to do that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so if you would love me to walk you through how to build and scale and grow in Kajabi, that's where my expertise is. That's how I currently support clients. I have a program called the K Effect. It's a 9-week one-on-one done with you. So you're building your skills and your confidence in the platform as well. It's to learn how to create your digital coaching program and sales funnel like a pro in Kajabi, even if tech is not your thing. I don't think I said this at the beginning, but my job for a long time was to train educators, K-12 and then higher ed, on how to leverage tech in their classrooms or online. And a lot of these professors hated technology with a passion. And that was my job, was to get them to see what were the benefits of this and how can it work for them and walk them through it. So if you feel like tech is not my thing, but you know you need systems, I love doing that. Just an investment overview. If you're thinking about working with me, these are the investments here. This is what you learn in the program. It's 9 weeks. So we do 3 weeks of each phase. It's a mapping out your coaching program, like your system. You're going to create your digital assets or your coaching program, and then how to sell it. So we build that sales funnel so that someone can opt in. Perfectly aligned client, an ideal client says, hey, I have a problem. You can solve it. Let me get the free resource first. They go through a sales funnel to understand who you are. They can even book a call with you, but then also you are having a pipeline into your program. Okay. What we overcome in this program is a fear of selling online. That can be hard sometimes. Fear of tech overwhelm, fear of creating a generic coaching program. This is not a one-size-fits-all shop over here. Fear of hearing crickets when you're trying to build your email list. That is hard. And then fear of not knowing what to do or how to do it. So that is definitely what we cover in my program. So just an overview. Let me know if you're interested. I have a link that I can throw in at the end. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Yeah. She's quick. All right. I know that was a lot. I try not to go really fast, but also your time is precious. What questions do you have? Okay, what would the program also help us migrate stuff over? Yes, yes. I don't want you to use any other tool that's duplicating an effort, right? That's like my motto in life. So we do migrations of website, of emails. If you have a podcast or a blog, we do that migration as well because we are minimizing and simplifying. Yeah, that's part of mapping out your system.
What other questions do we have? Yeah, this is
Yeah.
cool. I've been fast and furiously taking notes, and we will also share the slides.
Yeah, good, good. And also, I have the link on there. It's the top one. We can throw it back in the chat. But I do have a free guide that kind of goes over all of this with links to all the platforms that definitely can be yours. I wanted to hear these questions at the end before I put finishing touches on the guide, so I can answer any of those burning questions on there as well. But you can opt in, pretty much just telling me like, hey, throw me the guide when it's ready. Should be in your inbox in 48 hours.
Nice.
You're not yet at level 4. How much would you suggest we start integrating Kajabi? I love this question because when I tell people what Kajabi can do, they're like, why would I do all those other things? If you don't want to spend time migrating things over from other platforms, and you feel comfortable with the cost of Kajabi right now, it's not the cheapest platform because it has so much in it. Then I would say definitely start with Kajabi because if you are past the point where you are like, you can get your first couple clients, then your next goal really is to build your email list, which means you need a place to store those digital files. Maybe you're storing videos, which Kajabi can do. You need opt-in pages, forms for people to opt in, automation to send people those resources, right? So there's a lot of components that you would be able to leverage with Kajabi pretty fast, pretty quickly. If anyone's wanting to know like what, if I wasn't using Kajabi, but I wanted all the things it can do, I do have like a list breakdown of how much it would cost to have this feature versus just having it all in one place. So I do have a price breakdown. Is what I have if someone wants that. So they can do a comparison on their own.
Nicole, does Kajabi like take away Zoom and like website hosting like GoDaddy?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. GoDaddy is your domain name, correct?
Well, it's where I'm hosting my website.
Okay. So yes, you would not, it is not a domain name provider, but if you do already have your domain name, then you would not need another host. You can host your entire website through Kajabi. And it also can take away Zoom. So it does have a coaching as a product, and it has live video within Kajabi. You can go live one-on-one. You can go live in a course with a group coach. You can go live in your communities, and it will record everything and upload those recordings to your person or your people that need them automatically, and send everyone an email that says, hey, just here's your recording. This went live. Here's your recording. Sending several other she's okay. Thanks,
Oh,
Patricia.
that's awesome.
And I want to provide my email. If there's like questions at all, the teacher in me will answer all your questions and help as much as I possibly can.
So
Yeah.
if you have information from another source, and you don't want to make a newsletter or whatever and just forward that, is there a way to do that through Kajabi, or
So tell me more
do you
about
just,
that. You don't want to do a newsletter, Pamela, but what are you thinking?
yeah, I mean, I get newsletters from other people and I want to just forward them to my clients.
Oh, okay.
Because they have valuable information in them that they can
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, I love that. So, if the newsletter is like inside of an email,
Mhm.
that's a great question. I don't think you can forward someone else's email to your list. You could take snippets or their links and create an email to say like check out these resources from this other newsletter pretty quickly, and send it to your list that way.
But you'd have to create your own
You'd have,
newsletter
yeah, you'd
from the
have to create
clips.
your own.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
sure. Anyone thinking about like the weekly content that they need to be putting out? I know that can be really challenging to start thinking about creating and getting a schedule around that. How would you put that out?
I definitely am when it comes to like blogging, writing, how
Yeah.
often, how much, what topics.
Yes, definitely. So I always think that your weekly content should just be answering questions that you're already getting, and then you can dive in deeper. I use, what is that website? I think it's called Ask the Audience. So you can kind of see what people are Googling around a certain topic. And it gives you like who, what, when, where, and why around that topic. I think it's called Ask the Audience or Ask the Crowd. Let's see if I can find it. Ask the public. That's what it is. Ask the public. So you can literally put a topic in there and it will give you all the questions people are Googling and it will show you what the volume is. And you literally can just take those top volume questions and answer them for your
Nice.
content. Take a minute to share your feedback. Awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what's nice.
Feedback form in there.
Todd, did I speak over you, Todd?
That's okay. I was just gonna ask the K effect, like how much does it help with like how to market, how to be better at building your email list or what to market kind of a thing.
Yeah. So the marketing component of it.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so it's more than just technical. It is also how are we going to do this in a strategic way so we're not building something that people don't need. So we do focus on in the map your system of figuring out your messaging and also validating your program idea. So I would want to know more about your ICF coaching program and if you are like what you provide and then who is it for and how do we go market and message for those people. So we get very specific on kind of basic marketing concepts, which is who's your ideal client, what are their pain points, how do we focus and solve those pain points within your coaching program. We do all that in mapping your system so we know that we're not building a funnel that someone's not interested in.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I put a link to the Answer the Public. It's answer. I did a
Oh,
search, Ask the Public, and
sorry. Yeah.
Answer the Public. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
they're the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty fun to see what's on there.
Oh.
So Nicole, can I ask a question then? So it's part of what slows me down, is just trying to create, the questions. It's getting it organized, quite frankly. So then, because I really don't like social media. It's like I would rather, and I grew up in meeting people, connecting. That was just how we did business. So it's very against my grain. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But so I could use Canva to create the content or addressing those questions. Is that what you're getting at from kind of back on phase one? Stay consistent as you spoke about earlier in the cadence, and then also kind of the brand of what you're addressing. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And the Canva Pro has branding elements, which is like the visual elements, but also your a brand is like the the things that someone associates with you or your business. So as long as you're staying consistent on what things people can say, she is this, she is this, she is this, then that's consistency right there. And listen, I'm a millennial and I hate social media. I have a hard time saying, I got to get back on the platform. I got to talk to people. I need to post. This is why I like batching so much and scheduling it out. I don't want to be on there every day. I don't. So you are not alone.
So is it, I don't want to take other people's time here, so you can shut me down here. Is it decide how frequent I want to post? Is that correct?
That's all it is.
So
Decide
you,
it.
I think you had said once a week, but even if I started out once a month just to get going,
Yes.
or twice a month, that kind of thing. And then I can batch that. I could batch 6 months out and not have to worry about it.
That's
Except
right.
are you answering? Who's doing the answering of these people who make the comments?
So you don't want to be on there at all. Or you're like, I want to post and go.
From I think it's a touch point. Yes, you can build a relationship somewhat that way. So it's not that I'm so opposed. It just sucks the life out of me. It's so, if you list all the things that I enjoy, that is not one of them.
Yeah. That's at the very bottom.
I want to touch people, not in a literal sense, but I want to be with them.
Yes.
And so I know I can't grow an online business and do what I want to do without having, access globally, nationally, whatever it might be, bigger than my town. I do get that.
Yeah.
So I either have to get over it or you hire it out, or
well, also be strategic around it. You don't want to drain your energy if you're not getting a return on investment. So what I would do if you wanted to post, let's say, I'm going to challenge you to say twice a month.
Okay. Yeah.
Once a month, it would be you're providing content or value. So you are teaching a strategy and you have maybe a resource. If you're in the phase where you're collecting emails, you have a resource to send them to solve a very specific problem that you have nailed their pain points. And they say, "Ooh, she is speaking to me." And they are opting in to that resource. So now they're on an email list. So now you get to communicate with them off those platforms. The second time you post would just be reiterating that resource that you've already built or one previously that you've provided. So that every single time you post, you have true intention about it. It's not just to say, "Hey, hello today, gone tomorrow." It's to gather those people that you're truly trying to connect with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good strategy. And I don't worry about reels and all this other stuff. Just put it.
Yeah, reels and
like
stories.
Instagram and put it out.
The short term, it matters. Short-term content, the reason why people are so obsessed with it is because it goes way beyond who's subscribed to you. So if you are trying to like boost your awareness past your current people who have subscribed to you or like your current audience, that's why people are using short form content.
Oh.
If your current people that are subscribed to you, following you on whatever platform are your ideal clients, then you just need to post to them, just talk to them.
Okay.
If you're on LinkedIn, and you want to, there's no short-term content on there. So if you're focusing on LinkedIn and you're like, you know what, my current people that I'm connected with are not my ideal client, then you might want to look at something like Sales Navigator that can curate a list of ideal people. And then you are connecting with those people. When you connect with them and they reply back to your message, now they're going to see your things in the feed.
So Sales Navigator in LinkedIn.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
No,
but
it's not.
You don't need it. You don't need it for very long. You need it for like 1 month. Pull your lists.
I am
going
to just jump in really quick. So sorry, I just want to be super respectful of time for those that leave. For those that don't yet need to leave, stay on. But I know we're at the bottom of the hour. And I just want to do the reminder, please make sure you do your feedback survey. That's how you get the CCE certification. I put the link in for next month's events. We sure hope that we'll see you there. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt but I'm mindful of the time and those that might need to drop. I wanted to make sure you have information.
I told you, Carrie, I'll be in the zone. So if you got to like just get in there. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone's looking at LinkedIn as their main platform, which I love, yeah, I would say Sales Navigator, you need it for a month. The list that it curates for you, copy the URL. Copy and save the URL. You can do as much connection as you can while you have that subscription for the month or two that you want to pay for it, and then end it. And then if you are like, you know what, I really want to build my audience, then you can look at some automation tools like WeConnect, Dripify. You're going to plug in those URLs and it's going to do all of that for you. So if you ever see someone coming on your LinkedIn profile and they like 2 or 3 posts and then they send a connection message and then they see a follow-up connection message, that's not them. That is an automation that they have set. That's how they're building their audience without them being chained to their computer, which is important to do because you're just trying to build people that actually want to hear your message or hear from you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Nicole, you'll share with us the slides?
Yeah, sure can. Yeah.
Okay,
I
perfect.
can
Then
download
that
maybe
way
like a
we'll make
PDF.
sure that-
Sure.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be great. Then that would be,
That would be-
and the recording, I believe also, everyone will have access to that if you
Wonderful.
prefer, because I know Nicole has shared with us such a wealth of tips, even beyond just the slides. So thank you so much. I know
Yeah.
I for one have been fast and furiously taking notes and so appreciate you being here, Nicole. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been really fun. I hope I can provide as much value as possible. And like I said, I put my email in there. So if you want to just connect and say, hey, I had a question about this, holler at me. All right.
All right. Well, hope everybody has an amazing weekend. And we'll see you hopefully next month at the Coaches Connect or the next program, which is Dare to Be You. So have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicole.
Yes.
Bye.